This video series will talk about Math 1001 Unit 2, its problem session. It will go over problems from Chapter 7 in the book. Our first section is on budgeting, which is found in Section 7.2. This first question, Part A, find the annual cost of buying McDonald's Egg McMuffin for $2.79 plus 7% sales tax once per week. What if you also get a cup of coffee for $1.07 after tax? So we want to see how much money we would spend in a year if we bought an Egg McMuffin every week, and then add in the situation of if we bought a coffee every week as well. So let's start with one McMuffin per week. Well, one McMuffin, just one, is $2.79 plus tax, and that's a 7% sales tax. So it's $2.79 plus 7% of $2.79, which is $2.79 plus, if we find 7% of 2.79, that is taking 0.07 times 2.79. So 2.79 plus, this ends up being 0.1953, and add these together, we get 2.9853. But because it's money, we're going to round to two decimal places, and that would be $2.99. So one McMuffin with tax is $2.99, but we're talking about one McMuffin per week. So there are 52 weeks in a year. So times 52, so $2.99 times 52, if we do that multiplication, that ends up being $155.24 per year. Okay, the next part says, what if you also get a cup of coffee? It already says what it is after tax. So 1 cup of coffee per week. This will be 107 times 52, $1.07 per week, 52 weeks. So we get 55.64 per year once we do that multiplication. So both items together, if we were asked that, 155.24 plus 55.64 ends up $210.88 that you would be spending per year at McDonald's. Okay. Let's go to this next question. Find the amount that'd be left in a budget for variable expenses and luxuries if your income and fixed expenses are as follows. So we're looking for variable expenses and luxuries. We're given our income. So here's our income right here. And then these are all of our fixed expenses. So what we mean by fixed expenses is items that you pay for each month that you know what they're going to be or about what they're going to be. And then you can subtract that from your income to see how much you have left over for other expenses. Variable expense items, things that aren't the same every month, or luxury items, the things you just want that aren't needs. So to get our income, to get our amount that is left, we need to take our income and subtract our fixed expenses. So the sum of these fixed expenses, we need to add up each one of these here, our house payment, our utilities, our car, cell phone, insurance, and property taxes. We're going to add all of those things up, and if we do that, we get $2,843.09. So the leftover that's for our variable expenses and our luxuries is going to be our income minus our fixed expenses. So this is $4,657.27, that income they gave us, minus $2,843.09, the sum of our fixed expenses. And once we do that subtraction, we're left with $1,814.18 left over for variable expenses and our luxuries. Okay. All right. This next question is talking about prorating long-term expenses. So if you have an expense in your budget that you know is coming up and it's kind of a big expense, like this question is pointing out tuition, you can think about that as how much do you need to save per month, kind of divide it up by 12, how many months are in the year, and save a little bit at a time to be ready for this big expense. That's called prorating a long-term expense. So if we're looking here, so our total, we'll find our total amount first, this big amount that we need to keep up with, and then we'll divide it by 12 to figure out what we could deal with monthly, save monthly. So we have tuition, and it is $1,450, but it says that it happens in August and again in January. So really we need to multiply this by 2 because it happens twice a year, and that's $2,900. Our housing, our on-campus housing, we pay that twice per year, so that's $2,150 times 2, and that's $4,300. And then finally, the meal plan, it is $1,475, and again, it says twice per year, so it's just a coincidence that all of these are twice per year. It could be any amount and work the same way. $1,475 times 2 is $2,950. And then when we sum these expenses, we get $10,150. So I guess related to school, we have $10,150 that we need to pay, and we want to be mindful of this and save monthly. So per month, we'll take this total, $10,150, and we'll divide by 12, and we end up getting $845.83. So if you save $845.83 per month, put that away per month, then you will have enough to pay for each of the big expenses.